Have you ever pondered what financial freedom truly means? Is it a life devoid of debt or a fancy car in your garage? The enigma of financial freedom is a concept that extends beyond the realm of mere money. It embodies the capacity to live life on your terms, unshackled by financial constraints. The key to unlocking this freedom: budgeting. Yes, the humble act of planning your expenses, often undervalued yet so powerful. It's a tool that can transform your financial life, steering you towards the path of freedom. But don't just take our word for it. We're here to tell you a story. A compelling narrative of an ordinary man who harnessed the power of budgeting to achieve extraordinary financial freedom. His name is John, an everyday man with an extraordinary story. A story of triumph, resilience, and financial liberation. Join us as we delve into the life of John, an ordinary man with an extraordinary story of financial freedom. John Doe, a man many would consider ordinary, yet his journey to financial freedom is anything but. Let's delve into the life of John. Picture a man in his mid-30s, hard-working and diligent, yet always seeming to live paycheck to paycheck. He, like many, fell into the cycle of debt early in life. Student loans, credit card bills, car payments, you name it. It seemed as if the mountain of debt was insurmountable, and John felt trapped, chained to his circumstances. John found himself living in a constant state of anxiety, always worrying about the next bill, the next unexpected expense. The weight of financial stress was heavy on his shoulders, robbing him of the joy and freedom he yearned for. But remember, folks, our John Doe is anything but ordinary. One day, after another sleepless night, John decided enough was enough. He was tired of feeling like a hamster in a wheel, always running but never truly moving forward. It was time for a change. He wanted to take control of his life, and he knew the first step was taking control of his finances. John started educating himself about personal finance. He read books, attended seminars, and sought advice from financial gurus. He learned about the power of budgeting, the importance of living within his means, and the freedom that comes from being debt-free. This was the turning point for John. He started making conscious decisions about his spending, prioritizing needs over wants, and started chipping away at his mountain of debt. It was not an overnight transformation, but rather a steady, determined journey towards financial freedom. John's story is not unique. Many of us can relate to his struggles and his desire for change. But what sets him apart is his decision to take action, to take control of his finances, and to embark on a journey towards financial freedom. John's decision to change was the first step towards his financial freedom. And remember, it's never too late to start your own journey. After all, the path to financial freedom begins with a single step. John discovered the power of budgeting, a simple yet effective tool to control one's finances. He started by jotting down his income and expenses, a task that seemed mundane and tiresome at first. But as he got into the habit, he realized that it was like looking at a mirror, a reflection of his financial habits and decisions. He faced challenges, of course. There were months when unexpected expenses popped up, throwing his budget off balance. There were times when he was tempted to splurge on a new gadget or a fancy dinner, straying from his budget. But John didn't let these hurdles deter him. He learned to account for miscellaneous expenses, to save for a rainy day. He learned to resist impulsive purchases, understanding that every pound counts. Budgeting for John was like a jigsaw puzzle. He had to figure out how to fit his expenses into his income, ensuring that every piece, every pound had a purpose. He had to make adjustments, sometimes cutting back on entertainment or dining out, to ensure that he was living within his means. It was challenging, yes, but it was also rewarding. With budgeting, John was able to see where his money was going. He could identify patterns, understand his spending habits. He realized he was spending a significant portion of his income on takeout food, an expense he could easily cut down by cooking at home. He noticed that he was paying for subscriptions he rarely used, a waste of money he could avoid. But more than that, budgeting gave John control. It allowed him to plan for his future, to set financial goals and work towards them. He could save for a dream vacation, invest in his retirement, or simply build a safety net for unforeseen expenses. He was no longer living paycheck to paycheck, constantly worried about running out of money. With budgeting, John was not only controlling his money but also his life. He was making informed decisions, taking charge of his financial future. And that, my friends, is the true power of budgeting. With budgeting as his compass, John embarked on his journey towards a debt-free life. John's journey began with a systematic approach to paying off his debts. He started by listing all his outstanding liabilities, from the largest to the smallest, and then devised a plan. Each month, he committed a fixed portion of his income to repay his debts, starting with the smallest. This technique, known as the snowball method, gave John a sense of achievement as he gradually eliminated his debts one by one. Living within his means was another lesson John had to learn. He realized the importance of not spending more than he earned. This meant cutting back on unnecessary expenses and making conscious choices about where his money went. He learned to distinguish between his needs and his wants, prioritizing essentials over luxuries. It was a tough lesson to learn, but one that was vital to his journey. Along the way, John made sacrifices. He gave up his daily coffee runs, traded his car for public transportation, and even downscaled his living arrangements. He understood that these were temporary measures, necessary to achieve his long-term goal of financial freedom. He faced these challenges head-on with unwavering determination and discipline. But it wasn't all about cutting back and paying off debts. John also sought ways to increase his income. He took on side gigs, invested in his skills, and even turned his hobby into a small business. These additional income streams not only accelerated his debt repayment, but also gave him a sense of empowerment. As John crossed off each debt from his list, he celebrated his victories, no matter how small. These moments of triumph fueled his resolve, propelling him further along his journey. With each milestone, he could see his dream of a debt-free life becoming a reality. John's journey was not easy, but his determination and discipline led him to a debt-free life. His story is a testament to the fact that financial freedom is attainable, with the right mindset and a well-executed plan. It's a journey that requires patience, sacrifice, and resilience, but the destination is well worth the effort. From drowning in debt to basking in financial freedom, John's journey is a testament to the power of budgeting. As John stepped into the world of financial freedom, it was like stepping into a new life. A life where the constant dread of debt no longer loomed over his every decision. A life where he could finally breathe easy, knowing that his financial decisions were no longer driven by desperation, but by choice. It was a life that was his own, a life that he had taken control of. John's life, after achieving financial freedom, was markedly different from his previous state of constant worry and anxiety. He no longer had to wake up in the middle of the night worrying about the bills piling up. He no longer had to make the tough choice between paying the rent or buying groceries. He no longer had to fear the ringing of his phone, anticipating a call from a debt collector. Instead, he woke up each day with a sense of peace, knowing that he was in control of his financial destiny. The peace of mind that came with financial freedom was liberating for John. It was like a heavy weight had been lifted off his shoulders. He could now plan for his future without the burden of debt holding him back. He could dream about the possibilities and make them a reality. He could take risks, knowing that he had a safety net of savings to fall back on. John was now able to live life on his terms. He could travel, explore new hobbies, and even splurge on the occasional luxury without the guilt or fear of falling back into debt. He could invest in himself and his dreams. He could help others without worrying about his own financial stability. He could truly enjoy the fruits of his labor. John's story is a testament to the fact that financial freedom is not just about money, it's about peace of mind. It's about being able to live life on your own terms. It's about the freedom to dream and the ability to make those dreams a reality. John's story is not just about financial freedom, but about the power of taking control of one's life. John's story is inspiring, but what can we learn from his journey to financial freedom? Well, let's unravel that, shall we? John taught us that budgeting isn't about restricting yourself, but about making choices. It's about understanding where your money is going and deciding where you want it to go. It's about discipline, sacrifice, and living within one's means. John's journey also showed us that staying out of debt is a liberating experience. It's the kind of freedom that lets you sleep peacefully at night, knowing that you're not enslaved to lenders. It's about owning your financial decisions and not letting them own you. From John, we learned that budgeting and staying out of debt aren't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. They're about your life, your dreams, and your freedom. They're about making the most of what you have so you can do more of what you love. Remember, financial freedom is not a destination, but a journey. And with the right tools, like budgeting, anyone can embark on this journey just like John.